The inspiration for the new album, Hero, stems from my childhood. Believe it or not, growing up in Fair Forest was pretty cool, because of how my parents raised us. I didn't know that we grew up without, growing up. It was 7 of us, They taught us to appreciate things. They taught us to respect our adults. They taught us to live out our dreams, don't settle for, something that someone tells you. But, our parents were very motivating. Yeah.
The thing for me, when you got 5 kids, want to eat, and got to close them, only thing you really want them to be good, productive citizens.
One of the most important things other than God in his life was I told all of the boys that get something in your head, in your heart, and your pocketbook will come later.
One of the reasons I started in music, it was a family thing, but because my older brother Alpheus was in music heavy, I really watched him a lot. So he played piano, and I just followed and studied, whatever he did. Eventually I got the saxophone in my hand.
And we actually grew up, of course, I'm a twin and Marcus is a twin, and we used to have a group called the Anderson Twins.
Let me just say this. I went out and I bought a video camera when they started growing up, getting older, because I just wanted to capture the moment, because they just always kept us laughing, always kept us entertained. I knew as they were growing, their entertainment was definitely going to be their business.
You need to move that camera out the way. Turn the light back down. I can sing. You don't need it. I can sing to that man.
But to start playing the sax, I think it was in the 6th grade. I got a letter from his teacher. The first year that he was probably playing about 3 months. And how gifted he was. I wish I still had kept that letter. Those Anderson boys, they talented.
Marcus would always somehow bring music into my classroom, into the project presentation. I taught many students. Many students did music, were involved in music programs. Marcus went steps beyond that. Music wasn't just something Marcus did. Music was who Marcus was.
When I got to school, I picked up the horn, I played, and it was automatic. I first picked up the saxophone in 6th grade. My dad told me around, I guess when I was in 5th grade, I was 11 or 12. And he said, Marcus, you're gonna play the saxophone one day and you're gonna be great. And I said, okay. And he said, I want you to sit here in front of the bed and just listen to this music. And all I knew was it was just music without words. It grew on me. I ended up liking it. But my dad, he just always used to say, yeah, this is your ticket right here. This is how you're gonna make it in life. I don't know if he really saw it or he was just kind of really being motivating, but those words never left me. I just remember always hearing that, this is my ticket. I'm gonna make it. This is what I'm gonna do to create a life for myself.
Well, it was one way to keep him out of trouble. When you got your interest in something positive things are bound to happen. And that was something positive in their life, and it was also had God in their life, because it was a church environment. Well, my wife was the janitor, and while she would be cleaning the church up, they'd be out in the sanctuary part, messing around with the piano, the drums, and back then Marcus and Marcel were doing the singing, and Ira and Alpheus was the drums and the keyboard, the piano. And it grew and grew and grew.
It made me proud, all 5 of them. Even my son that passed away, even from his passing away, he made me proud.
So this is a memorial for my older brother, Aaron, who passed away in a car accident some years ago. And every summer, we replant the flowers. In the wintertime, we put fake flowers in because they can't grow. But every spring, every summer, we come out here and plant new flowers. It doesn't look like much right now, but when it's done up, it's really nice, and just something that we try to put here in memory of him. So it was cool. Like growing up with all my brothers and sisters, and me being the youngest, and so there's Sonia, and there's Kim, there's Ursula. Those are the girls, and after that, it's Aaron, it's Alfie, it's Marcel, and me. I just always had a really cool, unique relationship with my sisters. And I think that's where I kind of get the whole love and affection side was from them, because they always loved on me. And same for my mom.
Marcus is 35 years. That's how long I've known Marcus. I am his oldest sister.
He's still a big kid. He is. He's still that playful person that just playful, just a big kid, just love fun. Growing up with Marcus, he always loved to have fun, and he still loves to have fun.
Growing up, my favorite memory has to be of him and his twin, other brother, Marcel, at Christmas and different, family celebrations. They did this thing, and I don't remember exactly what they called it, but they acted like little people. And I got it on video if nobody believes it. And they would do like this comedy routine. And I mean, it was absolutely hilarious.
And I think they kind of helped develop me into the gentleman that I am today, or try to be. But my brothers, it was kind of fun because they were always adventurous. So Marcel and I, my twin, we would watch Aaron and Alpheus. So whatever they did, we did.
And we actually grew up, of course, I'm a twin and Marcus is a twin. And we used to have a group called the Anderson Twins. So I played the piano for the group, and he played the sax. He actually used to sing for the group before he played the sax. And then we used to travel, we're at my home church now, so let's bring back memories. We used to travel all around Spartanburg, wearing the church out, singing.
Yeah, so we started out, of course, me and my brother, we sung at various events in elementary, but as we transitioned from elementary to middle school, all four of us would sing together as the Anderson Twins. Of course, me and my brother twins. And then, of course, our two older brothers, we would sing at various church events, conventions, talent shows, various musical events where we sung all the time.
So if they climbed the tree, we climbed the tree. If they went down to the creek, we went down to the creek. We explored. If they tied ropes and threw it in the tree and tried to create this swing, we did the same thing. If they took fireworks, lit them and threw them, we did the same exact thing. So they influenced us more than what they know. But my brothers influenced me and Marcel a lot. Everything, the good and the bad. They threw a rock and broke a window. You best believe we threw a rock and broke a window. What does that feel like? Yeah, no, I loved growing up with my brothers and sisters, man. And even still, we have fun today. There was always chores for us to do, either inside or outside.
Especially when I had the garden. They would not like the garden.
Everybody had to work in the garden.
Man, that garden was unforgiving, man. It was just, we had so much to do, and it's like, where are all these weeds coming from?
Being the baby, he's the baby out of everybody. And again, when he started playing the saxophone, that was a way to get out of chores because he felt like he had to play for a recital or an event. And he just knew how to maneuver his way out of chores, and it led me to do the lead work. And that happened all the time.
It was all in this garden here. And we would kind of hide in it. Sometimes he was looking for us just to get out of work. See, because I started playing music, once I picked up the saxophone, my dad said, "Now I want you to protect your hands and your lips. Now, I don't want you working out in the yard if you can't find no gloves." So I'd hide all the gloves to where it was only 3 pair of gloves. There's 4 boys, but the 3 pair of gloves, I said, "Dad, I can't find the gloves. I need to go outside and work." And he would not let me go outside and work in the yard unless I had gloves on. So I said, he said, "Well, just stay in the house and clean up." "No, I'm gonna go outside." He was like, "No, you gotta protect your hands. That's your ticket." I was like, "Okay." Man, I used to hide those gloves, you know, and like I'd find them and I'd go outside eventually at some point. But who wants to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday? Like, that's your Saturday. Pick watermelons, shuck corn, pick green beans, snap them, clean them, greens, everything.
His brother wrote a song, Free in the Garden. I think it's all about those beans they had to pick.
We had corn, we had tomatoes, we had cantaloupe, we had watermelon, we had peas, we had carrots. Yeah, we had a lot of stuff. Yeah, green beans, I remember picking those, you know, snapping, all of that stuff, man. That was interesting growing up in that field. I used to try to walk in that field and like disappear, like Field of Dreams. You know, when they walk and they disappear because I didn't want to do the work. But I had to. But, you know, I'm appreciative of all that stuff. You know, I didn't know back then, but it was definitely needed. And it definitely helped mold, you know, me and my brothers and sisters into who we are today. I used to go to our library. We didn't have much growing up. And had a CD player, but I couldn't really afford to buy CDs. But someone told me that you could rent CDs from the library. So I would go and rent all kinds of different music. I mean, John Tesh, Stevie Wonder, the Beatles, whatever I could get my hands on. And that's how I learned like about a lot of music, man. I would go and rent jazz albums. Man, it was just like interesting, like being able to do that. I didn't even know you could do that. So I used to go to the Spartanburg County Library and I would go and I would just rent out like CDs every week. And the librarian like knew me and they would call me like, hey, Marcus, just come and just scan it. And like, you can scan it, check it right back out. But you can't keep it for months in. Like I would keep these CDs like I owned them. Yeah, I mean, but that was so much fun just doing that. Going to the library, renting out, you know, CDs. They weren't my CDs, but they were mine. You know, but, yeah. When I got to school, I picked up the horn, I played, and it was like automatic. Like the teacher asked, what do we want to play? And I said, hey, Mr. E, I want to play saxophone. And I picked it up, and I remember the first feeling of like feeling like the reed and the texture of it. You know, I didn't like it, but I got used to it and it grew on me. And everything about the sax just kind of like felt natural. Like I was able to figure out certain notes. I learned my first song. Yeah, within like the first like month or two. And my band director was blown away by it. He said, Marcus, this is incredible. Who taught you this? And I said, well, I taught myself. And he was like, how? We only learned 5 notes. I'm like, I know, but I just figured out the rest of them. And it was the song I Wish by Stevie Wonder, but it was the Nige version from the album he had put out, Songs from the Key of Life. He did like a tribute to Stevie Wonder. And like, man, it was just, that was the start of everything. This was in 6th grade. Middle school was cool. Like I enjoyed middle school, but high school was fun. Like it was like all the middle schools in the area came like to this high school and we went to Dorman High School.
I was Marcus's sophomore English teacher at Dorman High School. Anytime he was in front of my classroom for project presentation or any other reason, he had this bigger than life personality. He captivated everybody's attention with his huge smile and kind words. And those are things that you just don't forget. In my classroom, I had a lot of project assignments, and I gave my students the freedom to determine how they were going to go about completing that project assignment. Marcus would always go the musical route.
But I played music all through high school. You know, I actually got a scholarship to North Carolina Central University. I didn't really know theory. Everything was kind of self-taught and by ear. I barely knew how to read music. So, and they knew that, and they saw it when I did my audition, but Dr. Wiggins saw, you know, I guess put a lot of potential in me. And he helped mold me into like the musician I am now. Who am I? I don't know. I guess I'm still trying to figure that out. To be honest, you know, I think more than anything is like, who do I want to be? And so I always think about the future, and I think about what type of man I want to be in the future, and that's kind of like what I look forward and look up to as far as like who am I and what I want to be. Or if you're thinking heroes, like who's your hero? Like I think about the future version of me is like, that's the guy I want to be. It's like, you know, we want to be perfect and we want to get everything right as much as possible, but I don't know. Who am I? I don't know. We'll find out one day.